What's up, YouTube? It is Mr. Rolldaddy here, and Hawkeye tie is on again. Got another Hawkeye football analyst video to do. As this week, it's the game where Iowa takes on Western Michigan. It's Big Ten versus MAC, but still a very big game for me to analyze and for me to come up with ways for the Hawkeyes to go out and win. Now, I've got some pretty big changes right here. I have reset up the format of my videos to include more pictures from Iowa Hawkeyes games that I have actually experienced myself. I'm hoping that these visual graphics are going to find my videos a lot more entertaining than they were in the past. And I made the text a Hawkeye gold color as well. I actually looked at their red, green, blue and found that this is it. Now, I'm also going to start out with saying how each video is organized in case you're new to the channel. I'm going to start out with pregame notes, then Rolldaddy's offensive roll keys, defensive roll keys, and my big roll of the week, which I will explain a little later on in the video. There's 3 roll keys each for offense and defense, which again is down from the 5 I did last year in order for shorter videos to be there for you guys. Now again, all views which I express in this video are completely my own. They do not represent those of or the interest of the University of Iowa, the opposing school, any media outlets, athletic departments, coaches, players, staff, university officials, or anybody or anything which is otherwise affiliated with the upcoming game or with the business of college football. I am a just for fun sports analyst doing a project based off of the university and collegiate football team I love. I'm an alumnus of the University of Iowa and a Hawkeye for life. I always want the best for my school, so here we go. Pre-game notes. I loved that we got that Cyhawk back. A lot of good things on that field. But while that good momentum's got to keep going, there's got to be more points going on offense. This is a very easy week for Iowa to score 30 or more points. Because Western Michigan, they looked freaking awful against Syracuse last week. I mean, score says itself 48-7, and because of that, the Hawkeyes cannot let this one become a trap game, which I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. So don't take them lightly. Here we go. Rolldaddy's 3 offensive roll keys for the week. Here's what I think Iowa's got to do to be successful and get the win. Use 6-man pass protection. 4-3. That's the defensive scheme Western Michigan uses. And it's very beneficial to utilize that 6-man pass protection against this scheme. And what that is obviously involves all the 5 offensive linemen, and it'll usually involve a running back, though a tight end, that can be used instead. By doing this against that 4-3 front, all gaps can be accounted for, and there's more down linemen that you got to take care of. There's more people you need to seal, so 6-man pass protection will help seal those down linemen up front, and then someone will get whoever from the second level of the defense is coming in on passing plays. So just make sure you use the 6-man pass protection to get all those gaps and men accounted for. Now next, don't let 99 cause 99 problems. So Western Michigan, they got a good player. His name is Marshawn Nyland. He's I'm going to say arguably their best defensive player, maybe their best player. He plays multiple spots on their defensive line, and because of that, and because of how good he is, he wears number 99 for the Broncos. He's also a local kid from Grand Rapids that loves playing for that program, so just neutralize him and don't let him, number 99, Marshawn Nyland, start 99 problems for your offense. Just don't let him do so. Next, outside runs. Those are key against a 4-3 defensive scheme. And I'm a Bears fan. I think back to the days where the Bears' great defense with Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs, Charles Tillman, Nathan Vasher, Alex Brown, and Tommy Harris, Chris Harris, all those other guys. Like, I think back to the days where they got shredded, and it was usually against Adrian Peterson. And how Adrian Peterson shredded the great Bears 4-3 defense of the 2000s, he just utilized outside runs to get through those lanes. So I'm going to say if you're Iowa, you got to get Caleb Johnson some tosses, some sweeps, some pitches, and bounce off into Western Michigan's second and third levels of the defense. Urkel and Luke Lachey. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've talked about them in every video so far this season, but they got to get those tight end blocks because they're on the outside of the line. They're the ones that can block those outside linebackers. Now, my 3 defensive roll keys of the week. Great picture from back when I went to the Outback Bowl. First defensive roll key. Continuing to make Western Michigan's passing offense weak. I did some research on these guys, and they had the worst passing offense in the MAC last year, which had surprised me given they're one of the better group of 5 teams of the past recent history, but they're just inefficient in passing yards. Last year, they took a lot of sacks on passing plays, and Jack Solopek, that's their starting quarterback. I looked at his game logs, and he's been largely ineffective in the Broncos' first 2 games so far this season. This is a really bad week for him to try and improve, and I'm just going to say, when you're out there on the passing defense, just don't make any simple mistakes, and because this guy, his quarterback numbers have not looked good. Like, I don't think he has 300 yards through 2 games, and he's got more interceptions than touchdowns. Next, yes, while their passing offense is weak, they've got a good running back, Jalen Buckley. So far, he's the strongest link on their offense. I looked at his game logs, and through the first 2 games, he's got 7.4 yards per carry, which that's huge to just put it simple. And, you know, like I said, Western Michigan lost 48-7 against Syracuse last week, but their lone highlight was Jalen Buckley. He just broke up a 75-yard rushing touchdown on the second play of the game. He's an explosive running back that really knows how to cut. He can boom through defenders. So just be ready for this guy to do some stuff. Don't take him lightly. My 3rd defensive roll key this week. Use packages that have the 5-2 defensive scheme. I was doing some research on offenses that are really reliant on the running game. And I read that the 5-2 defensive scheme is a great scheme to employ against a run-heavy offense. Kyler Fisher, he's one of our outside linebackers. I'm liking the chances of him playing effectively as an extra defensive lineman in those packages. And here's the thing. You're never really going to truly know on defense if someone's going to run or pass. But even if the Broncos, even if they end up deciding to pass the ball anyways, you got 5 defensive down linemen to hurry up and blitz and rush that passing game. So it's really good if they decide to pass or rely more on the pass as well. And even if they do pass a lot, even with 4 defensive backs there, again, their passing game has been so ineffective all season, and it makes it worth a risk taking. Now, it is that time again. Rolldaddy's Big Roll of the Week. So, if you're not familiar with my videos, you may be asking, what is this? Well, it's an interesting strategy, formation, trick play, or otherwise surprise tactic, which I would use if I was an Iowa coach to potentially catch the opponent off guard and maybe give them an advantage. Now, I did this last year in my videos too. Each big roll of the week is only permitted to be used once in a season, and because it's my second year, I can't use the same interesting or surprise strategy that I used for the same opponent as last year or a similar replacement opponent. It has to be something different from last year's game for the opponent I am scouting. So without further ado, here we go. Boom! Utilize a quick kick. So what a quick kick is, it's a kick from a quarterback from the shotgun formation that is completely unexpected. Defense has no idea because they're lined up in an offensive formation, but while it's rarely used, it is strategically used to catch some defenses off guard. How the strategy goes is teams usually will do this when they have the lead, usually if they're up by 2 scores or more. They're not going to do it if they're only leading by a little bit or if they're trailing. But third and long, from about, I'm going to say the 35, 40-yard line, maybe midfield, when you're not exactly in an ideal field goal range, but you still need a lot of yards, you'll just take the snap as a quarterback, and the quarterback will punt that football away, and it's so unexpected that defenses aren't ready for a return, and it can be downed in some pretty good field position, and teams love doing quick kicks against a weaker opponent. And this is a good opponent for Iowa to utilize a quick kick against this weekend. Now, thank you for watching. Let's go out and win this game, and let's go Hawks! And one more reminder, if you are going to the game this weekend at Kinnick, we'll obviously have a lot of fun, but remember, it is the Gold Out game, so wear Hawkeye Gold and support the children's cancer patients even more, because that's what the Gold Out game is meant to represent. Wear something gold if you're going to Kinnick Stadium this weekend. And that theme applies for all sections.